Hello teachers, learners, and parents. Sir Jeff po, at your service. Alam nyo ba na meron tayong website na tinatawag na DepEd Commons? Ang DepEd Commons ay binuo upang gawing accessible ang pagtuturo at pag-aaral dito sa ating bansa gamit lamang ang inyong mga smart devices gaya ng cellphones, tablets, at computers. Dito ay maaari nating ma-access ang iba't ibang learning materials mula sa Department of Education. Meron itong mga interactive materials, electronic self-learning modules, at instructional video lessons mula sa DepEd TV na tiyak na makatutulong sa pag-aaral ng mga mag-aaral galing ka man sa public o private school. Walang problema dahil welcome ang lahat dito. Para ito sa mga guro, magulang at mga mag-aaral mula sa kinder hanggang grade 12, alternative learning system o ALS, at pati na rin ang special education. At huwag kang mag-alala dahil kahit walang load ay maaari mong ma-access ang mga learning materials. Tama, libre ito. Ang kailangan mo lamang gawin ay i-on ang iyong data at buksan lamang ang iyong browser at i-type ang commons.deped.gov.ph. Alam na ba ng iyong mga kasamahang guro o mag-aral ang tungkol sa DepEd Commons? I-share mo na ang video na ito upang matuto rin sila kung paano gagamitin ang DepEd Commons sa mabilis at napakadaling paraan. Muli, ito po si Sir Jeff at kita-kits po tayo sa DepEd Commons. Paalam!
Magandang araw! Sir Wilbur po, at your service. Narito ang ETUlay upang gabayan ka sa inyong pag-aaral upang lubos na maunawaan ang iba't ibang paksa o subject. Ang ETUlay ay isang free online tutorial class na pinangungunahan ng ICT's Educational Technology Unit sa pamumuno ni Undersecretary Elaine Del B. Pascua. Ang programang ito ay hindi lamang para sa mga bata, kundi ito rin ay magsisilbing gabay sa mga magulang at mga guro kung paano nila ituturo o gagabayan sa bawat asignatura ang kanilang mga anak o mga estudyante. Sa kasalukuyan, ang self-learning module mula sa rehiyon ng Calabarzon at kilala sa tawag na pivot ang ginagamit sa ating ETUlay online class. Kaya ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Ihanda na ang inyong mga ballpen o lapis, papel o kwaderno at samahan kaming itulay ang pagkatuto para sa bawat batang Pilipino. Sama-sama tayong magtutulungan para malampasan ang mga hamon sa panahong ito. Halina't matuto kasama ang inyong online tutor sa oras na ito.
Okay, good afternoon po ulit sa ating Science 10 learners at tayo po ay nasa brand new Grade 10 Science 10 Quarter 4, Week 1. So maraming salamat sa pagtutok sa ating Quarter 3, last quarter. So maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Okay, so tayo po ay nasa, sabi ko nga, brand new quarter na tayo. So marami po tayong pasasalamatan muna ng mga nanonood sa atin. Usually, palagi sa ating time slot, every Monday afternoon. So maraming salamat, Aleta, Arona Gahalemo, Arben Manuel, Lay Chanel Cabonitalia, Crisel Ann Pascual, Lian Hachero, Janely Rivera, Arben Manuel again, and Donagil Carriazo. Okay? So ito po ang ating bagong ETUlay na cover, which is green. Kasi pag Monday po, laging green po ang ating color coding kapag science at sa Monday. Okay. Now, let me introduce again the Science 10, Quarter 4, Week 1. So, ang ating field of specialization na ating aaralin ngayon ay patungkol sa chemistry. So, behavior of gases and Boyle's law. So, may idea na ba kayo about behavior of gases and Boyle's law? Kung wala, so tayo po ay pag-aaralan natin ngayon ang laman ng ating self-learning module. Okay. Now, so again, I am your tutor Rainier at your service, Science 10, mula alas 3 hanggang 3:40 ng hapon. So tayo po ay live na live sa ating mga social media platforms. So ito po muli ang aming mga science thinkers, ETUlay tutors, mula grade 3 science hanggang grade 12 at meron din po tayo sa ALS at mga special programs. And meron din po tayong senior high school din. At the same time, ito po ang ating ginagamit na self-learning module mula sa SDO Caloocan, Quarter 4, Week 1, Science 10. So ito po yung kanyang front cover ng SLM na kung saan po ako nagtuturo sa SDO Caloocan. Maraming salamat po. Now, ito po ang ating ETUlay School of the Week. So, usually po, ito po yung usual na nanonood po sa ating Science 10 lesson natin for the past 2 quarters, quarter 2 and quarter 3. So, Ramon National High School from Schools Division Office, Isabela. So, ito po yung kanilang magandang school. So, I would like to congratulate them and at the same time, greet na rin po yung mga masisipag na Science 10 learners from Ramon National High School, SDO Isabela, Arben Manuel, Jensel John Viloria, Lay Chanel Cabonitalia, JM Cabonitalia, RD Fadera, Micaela Nepomuceno, Ira May Navarro, Princess Lay Balot, Princess Kyle Lorenzo, Mark Leo Meriales, Kyla Tricia May B, Princess Nicole Abundo. Sila po ay galing sa, syempre, grade 10, sections gold, silver, bronze, platinum, and nickel. Maraming salamat. I hope maging Facebook friends ko kayo. Ang friend ko pa lang dyan si Arben Manuel. So maraming salamat po sa pagtutok. Ramon National High School is SDO, Isabela. Okay. Now, I would like you to share this video natin sa Science 10 Quarter 4 Week 1 sa ating mga social media platforms. Syempre sa ating Facebook. Isa-isahin ko lang po, DepEd Edtech Unit Facebook page. Tayo po ay nakatutok din sa DepEd tayo Facebook page. So, kung meron po kayong ganyang accounts o meron po kayong time, kindly share para mas marami pong nakakanood na Science 10 learners. Para naman sa YouTube, at meron po tayong mga YouTube channels katulad ng DepEd Philippines. We also have DepEd Educational Technology Unit or Edtech YouTube channel and DepEd YouTube channel which is DepEd TV. Maraming salamat po sa pag-share at sa pagtutok ng ating Science 10 Quarter 4 Week 1. Yan, marami na rin po nanonood sa atin from MLQ High School, Manuel Luis Quezon High School, James Dado from 10 Del Pilar, Presi Mejia Mariano watching from Santo Rosario National High School, Valdez Jeril Ramon National High School, and then Marlon De Fiesta Martin watching from Ramon National High School. Maraming salamat po sa pagtutok. Okay, next. Ito naman po ang ating most essential learning competencies o tinatawag nating MELCs. Medyo mahaba. Investigate the relationships between relationship between volume and pressure at constant temperature of a gas. Relationship between volume and temperature at constant pressure of a gas. And explain the relationship of volume, pressure, and temperature using the kinetic molecular theory. Meron po itong code na S9 MT-2J-20. So medyo mahaba po yung ating most essential learning competencies. Now, ang ating mga learning goals naman this week, tatlo lang naman yan. State the relationships between each variable of gases using Boyle's law. Take note, meron po tayong aaralin mamaya na formula using Boyle's law. Solve problems regarding Boyle's law. And then, explain Boyle's law using kinetic molecular theory of gases. I hope naging maliwanag na po yung ating MELCs at yung ating learning goals para sa week 1 na ito. Okay. So let's have pretest. So pag magpi-pretest po tayo, dating gawi, you may type your answer or responses to our comment box at si teacher or tutor Rainier ay babasahin natin yung mga sagot nyo. So bago tayo magsagot, kailangan ilagay muna natin yung number para hindi po tayo magulo at organize yung ating pag-answer o pag-response. Ready? Ito po yung ating direction usually. Choose the letter of the correct answer. Write your answer on the space provided before each number. So again, yan po ang ating direction. So ready na ba? Science 10 learners, let's move to pretest number 1. Let me read. Last summer vacation, the Asto family decided to go to Pagudpod, Ilocos Norte to have beach party. On their way to Ilocos, all of them were surprised when the tire suddenly exploded, which best explains why the tire had blown out during the long summer drive. A. The amount of gases inside the tire is increased. B. High temperature cause a decrease in the tire's volume. C. The mass of the gases inside the tire increased, causing a blown up tire. And D. The volume of gases increases as the temperature increases, causing a blown up tire. Okay? Kindly type your answer, yung number muna po at yung letter. And then, Tutor Rainier will be reading your responses. So, meron na po tayong responses from Elizabeth Bernal Maglaya, Joanna May Rosete, Arben Manuel, Daniel Fadera, Pawi, Buendia, Princess Nicole Abundo, Charmaine Didase. Ayan, most of them, their answers are absolutely correct. The answer is letter D, as in dog. The volume of gases increases as the temperature increases, causing a blown up tire. Okay, very good po, Science 10 learners. Let's move to question number 2. What law explains the mechanisms of gas compressor? What law explains the mechanism of gas compressor? A. Avogadro's law. B. Boyle's law. C. Charles' law. Or D. Ideal gas law. Okay, kindly type your answer 2 and then the letter of the correct answer. What law explains the mechanism of gas compressor? Habang inintay po natin yung mga responses, maraming salamat po. Red Daitan sa panonood. From 10 Gomez, MLQHS, good afternoon. Elizabeth Bernal Maglaya from Tanza National Comprehensive High School. Maraming salamat. Marlon De Fiesta Martin from Ramon National High School. Bernabe Bertis Mabolok from Manuel Luis Quezon High School, grade 10 Felipe. And Arsenio Junior Tuliao from Ramon National High School. Ayan, may mga sagot na po tayo. So the answer of number 2, based dito sa ating mga responses din, Arben Manuel, Elizabeth Bernal Maglaya, 2B, Princess Nicole Abundo, same answer, Joanna May Rosete, Angeline Magtubo, Charmaine Didase, Pawi, Buendia, Zeni Estoya Magundayaw, Lizel Ogalesco Fabre, ang dami-dami na sumasagot. Okay, Jean Ruiz de Asis, Jensel Von Viloria, Janely Rivera, Caroline Alejado. Ang sagot ay letter B, as in boy, Boyle's law. This is the answer for number 2. Okay? Next, let's have question number 3. A 2.5 liter of gas sample is collected at a pressure of 1.25 atmosphere. Calculate the pressure needed to reduce the volume of a gas to 2 liters. Again, a 2.5 liter of gas sample is collected at a pressure of 1.25 atmosphere. Calculate the pressure needed to reduce the volume of the gas at 2 liters. A. 1 atmosphere. B. 1.56 atmosphere. C. 2.50 atmosphere. Or D, 6.25 atmosphere. Okay, take a wild guess muna since baka alam nyo na rin kung ano yung Boyle's law, meron na rin kayong prior insights kung ano yung formula na pwede natin gamitin dito. As pretest, so pwede muna tayong maggawa ng hypothesis o mag-educated guess muna tayo. Okay, may mga sagot na po dito, Joanna Marie Rosete, Vincent Soriano, Arben Manuel, Daniel Fadera, Jana Jade Villanueva, EJ Areglado, Leishanel Cabonitalia, Charmaine Didase. Ayan, ang sagot ay letter B as in boy. So we have 1.56 ATM. Later, we will be discussing paano nakuha yung ganyang response or sagot kasi i-discuss natin yung problem solving about Boyle's law. Okay, let's move sa question number 4. Okay lang po kahit mali yung sagot. It's okay. Pretest lang naman yan. Number 4. How does the temperature affect the average kinetic energy of gas molecules? A. As the temperature decreases, the average kinetic energy of gas molecule increases. B. As the temperature decreases, the average kinetic energy of gas molecules decreases. C. As the temperature decreases, the average kinetic energy of a gas molecule fluctuates. And D. As the temperature decreases, the average kinetic energy of gas molecules remains the same. Haba ng options, no? Ang question ay, how does the temperature affect the average kinetic energy of gas molecules? Okay, so Elizabeth Bernal Maglaya for B, Joanna May Rosete for A, Vincent Soriano A, Marlon De Fiesta Martin B. Okay, so para hindi na tayo makulangan ng time, so let's reveal the answer. How does the temperature affect the average kinetic energy of gas molecule? Pretest number 4, the answer is B. As the temperature decreases, the average kinetic energy of gas also decreases. Okay, question and last question, number 5. For pretest, the temperature of a gas in 2-liter container is 300 Kelvin. What will be its volume if the temperature is increased to 500 Kelvin? A, 0.83 liters. B, 1.20 liters. C, 3.33 liters. Or D, 5.38 liters. Good afternoon, watching from Liloan o Lilooan, Cebu. Sana tama yung pagkabigas ko, no? Shirley Oligasan o Olgasan. Ayan. So the answer for number 5 is letter C, 3.33 liters. Actually, itong question 5, this is Charles Law, will be discussed next week. But dito sa ating SLM kasi, nakapasok na yung Charles Law. Ang gusto ko kasi, para mas maintindihan natin, and sa mga science and learners, i-discuss ko ng separately yung Boyle's Law muna this week and Charles Law for the next week para hindi masyadong magulo. Although, yung dalawang laws na yon for gas laws, madali naman din siyang maintindihan. Okay. So, ito po ang ating looking back. Ayan. So, meron po tayong columns A and B on the left, column B on the right. So, sa column A, those are the properties of gases and its examples. Sa letter A, ito po yung maaari natin makita sa ating everyday lives. At yung letter B naman, ito yung properties for gases. Okay, let's have number 1. Airbags installed in cars are used as shock absorbers. So let's reveal the answer already. So D, gases can be compressed to a smaller volume. So yung ating mga airbags, no, kapag wag naman sana, knock on wood, kapag nagkaroon ng accident, biglang lumalabas po yung airbags na nakatago lang din dun sa ating malapit sa manibela. And then lalabas po yan para tayo po ay hindi magkaroon ng injury, natatama po yung ating muka dun sa part ng sasakyan. Kaya nagkakaroon ng airbags. So natatago natin yung airbags because gases can be compressed to a smaller volume. That's why nandun lang sila at nilalabas po ito when emergency rises at kailangan maprotektahan yung ating sarili. So number 2, when a tire or balloon is filled with air, the air is distributed evenly. So yung tire or yung balloon ay kapag napuno na ng hangin, yung air na yon madidistribute na yon sa container niya. So number 2, the answer is letter B. Gases fill their containers uniformly. So ito pong gas na to ay lahat mapupunta o didistribute sa buong parts kung saan po nandoon yung gas. It's either on tire or balloon or different kinds of container. Number 3, when you inflate a balloon, it is responsible in keeping its shape. So that's A. Gases exert pressure. So kaya napapanatili niya yung kanyang shape kapag naka-inflate yung balloon because gases exert pressure. Number 4, letter C. When you smell the aroma of coffee, mabango yan, or perfume in a room, ano kaya ang kanyang properties of gases? That's letter C. Gases diffuse easily. So again, kapag sinabi nating diffusibility, yung mga gas molecules ay madali siyang ma-diffuse o ma-distribute sa hangin or sa environment. Kasi alam naman natin yung molecules niya ay hiwalay-hiwalay, kaya marami talaga siyang chances to diffuse ng mabilisan. And number 5, the reason why tires is periodically checked to ensure safety during hot summer months. Kailangan chine-check natin yung mga gulong natin it's either every week sana or every month kasi delikado kapag yung tire natin or gulong ay hindi na-check. Lalo na kapag summer hot months. Because of letter E. The pressure of gas depends on its temperature. So kapag mas mataas ang temperature, mas mataas ang average kinetic energy, mas madaling pumutok ang gulong kapag hindi natin i-check ito ng maayos. Ayan. So those are yung tapos na po natin yung ating pre-test at yung ating looking back. So let's move to our lesson proper. Ayan. So the general properties of gases. So ang gases or gas ay ikatlong state of matter. Meron tayong solid, meron tayong liquid. At itong gas na to or gases ay meron din tong general properties katulad ng liquid at solid. Pero ito ang kanyang specific property. Gases consist of various properties. Its shape and size are indefinite and depends on where it is contained. So sa sinasabi dito sa ating properties of gases na ang shape niya ay indefinite at yung size niya dumedepende kung saang container siya nandoon o kung saang gas nako-contain siya ng isang particular na container. And remember that gases have mass, volume, temperature, and pressure. Itong mass, volume, temperature, and pressure, didiscuss din natin siya later. Now, when we say mass, so this is the amount of matter in an object. Iba siya sa weight. Kasi usually, na-interchange natin yung mass and weight. Yung mass, ito talaga yung amount of matter in an object. At hindi ito nababago kahit saan tayo mapunta. Sa tuktok ng Mount Everest, sa mismong Mars, or sa Moon, our mass, hindi po nagbabago. Unlike with weight, weight is the amount of pull of gravity in a certain object. So yun, nagbabago yun. It depends on the location ng mismong object. So mass, it refers to the amount of matter in an object. When we say volume, another property of gases, so it refers to the amount of space occupied by the gases. And then makikita natin that the mass ay maaari natin ma-determine, gagamit lang tayo ng mga measuring instruments. Katulad nito. And then, volume, makikita natin na ang volume of air kapag tayo po ay nag-inflate ng balloon. So kapag ang balloon ay hindi niya na kayang makontain yung dami ng volume ng air sa loob niya, maaari siyang mag-burst o sumabog. That's why mass and volume are said to be properties of gases. Another, meron pa tayong pangalawang set, the temperature. This is the measure of coldness and hotness of gas. So ngayon, kung i-compare natin sa ating weather today, so napakainit. So ang temperature natin sobra, scorching hot talaga, no? So kailangan natin talagang uminom ng tubig, kung kaya natin magpaypay, gumamit ng air cooler, kung meron kayong yayamanin kayo, gamit kayo ng aircon or electric fan. So bawal pong ma-dehydrate, mahirap magkaroon ng sakit, lalo na sa pandemic, medyo mahirap din magkaroon ng heat stroke, kaya kailangan po natin i-refresh yung ating katawan, maligo, uminom ng tubig, etc. etc. Kailangan wag nating hayaang magkasakit po tayo, lalo na sa ngayon. Pressure. This is the force applied by the gas particles per unit area. Ayan, pressure naman ang pinag-uusapan. So sa temperature, it can be measured by, syempre, ang tinatawag nating thermometer, at ang pressure naman, sinusukat yan sa barometer. Kung ang pinag-uusapan natin ay air pressure. Okay. So again, ano po ulit yung apat na properties? Meron tayo kaninang mass, we also have volume, we also have temperature, and pressure. I hope maliwanag po yan sa atin yung mga properties of gases. LB Reyes from Dasol Integrated School, SDO1 Pangasinan. Maraming salamat po sa pagtutok. Ara Jade Quimado from 10 Baltasar, MLQHS. Nida Aguas, watching from Betis National High School, SDO Pampanga. Watching from National High School o Betis National High School, SDO Pampanga, Alvin Sanchez Sibug. Maraming salamat po. Good afternoon po. Watching from Tarlac, Rina Abigail Cacho. Jean Ruiz de Asis. Good afternoon. Watching from Davao Occidental. Watching from Davao de Oro, Joanna Alim. Maraming salamat po sa pagtutok. Move na po tayo sa susunod na slide. Ano naman ang mga gas laws? So as I've said earlier, ang pag-aaralan muna natin ngayon ay yung unang gas law, yung Boyle's law. So gas law explains the relationship between property of gases. Nabanggit natin yung apat na binanggit natin na measurable properties of gases. We have mass, volume, temperature, and pressure. Itong apat na to ay ilagi in-incorporate natin sa gas laws natin. And take note, bawat gas law ay may kanya-kanya siyang mga relationship between the property of gases. Kaya dapat nating intindihin, kailangan nating matutunan, at kailangan nating ma-memorize po. Specifically, yung mga formula. It helps predict how gas will react if pressure, temperature, or volume is changed or kept constant. Again, nabasa natin yung salitang constant. Meron kasing isang measurable property of gas na magiging kept constant, hindi magbabago. Pero yung dalawa doon, it's either mag-i-increase, magde-decrease, o kaya pareho mag-i-increase or pareho magde-decrease. Mamaya, malalaman po natin yan. Good afternoon po. Watching from Kanaan Integrated School, Alabel 1, District of Sarangani, Division of Sarangani. Etus Su. Maraming salamat. Watching from MLQ HS, Angeline R. Magtubo, 10 Gomez. Still watching from Ramon National High School, Marlon De Fiesta Martin. Yan, maraming salamat sa pagtutok. Yan po. Ang ating gas laws ay pwede nating ma-explain at pwede nating ma-discuss sa pamamagitan ng mga, yung nakikita lang natin in everyday lives. Meron tayong liquefied petroleum gas or LPG, meron tayong mga syringes, we also have hydro pump, at kung ano-ano pa. It depends on the gas law that we will be discussing. Tapos, depende rin sa kanyang application. Now, ang Kinetic Molecular Theory or KMT, meron tayong sinasabi na lahat ng gases ay composed ng small particles. Siyempre, ang tawag natin doon, it's either atoms or molecules. Yung distansya niya between gas particles are very great that the volume of gas is mostly empty space. So, yung distansya ng mga gas particles natin ay talaga namang napakalayo. Kaya masasabi natin that the volume of gas is mostly empty space. So, usually, ang kinetic molecular theory ay meron pong mga tinatawag natin na assumptions. So, there are no repulsive or attractive forces between gas particles since malalayo nga yung distansya ng mga gas particles. Kaya wala itong repulsive or attractive forces sa isa't isa. At yung gas particles are in constant random motion. So, kung saan lang siya pumupunta. It depends po sa temperature. Kasi ang temperature, kinokontrol din niya yung average kinetic energy. And the kinetic energy naman, ito yung type ng energy possessed by moving objects. So, kapag mas mataas ang temperature, mas malilikot ang molecules ng gas particles. Ayan. The kinetic energy of particles depends on the temperature of the gas. Kapag mataas ang temperature, mas malilikot ang gas molecules because mataas ang kanyang average kinetic energy. Kapag mababa ang temperature, medyo tatamad-tamad yung mga gas particles kasi yung kanyang average kinetic energy ay mababa din. Okay. So, ito po yung mga assumptions natin. Let's make it very simple na lang. Ang collision daw ng mga gas particles sa container or walls ng container ay sinasabi nating perfectly elastic. Pag sinabi nating perfectly elastic collision, wala pong energy of motion ang nawawala o hindi nalolos. Basta nagbubungguan lang sila sa walls ng container. And most of the time, the type of collision is perfectly elastic condition. Take note ha, perfectly elastic condition sa isang option and assumption ng KMT. Another po na babanggitin ko dito na since perfectly elastic collision po, as I've said earlier, walang collision, walang energy ang nababawas or nalulost o nawawala dun sa mismong proseso ng bungguan o yung collision ng gas particles. Kaya itong kinetic molecular theory or KMT ay laging fundamental concepts na ginagamit pagdating sa gas laws. Kasi ito ang nagiging silbing foundation concepts ng gas laws. Meron tayong Boyle's law, we also have Charles' law, at yung mga remaining gas laws na pwede natin i-discuss on the next few weeks. Okay, so Adrian watching from Dasol Integrated School, Jean Galak sa YouTube, watching from Colonel Lauro D. Dizon Memorial Integrated School, 10 Fleming. Ayan, maraming salamat po. Watching from Dasol Integrated School, Jane B. Peletones. Watching from Dasol Integrated School, Kent Brian Gasque. Watching from Quezon City. Hashtag Sulong Educalidad. Lizel Ogalesco Fabre. Good afternoon, DepEd Edtech Unit and Sir Rainier. Good afternoon din po sa panonood. Ayan. So pakita na natin po yung ating activity 1. Investigate the relationship between volume and pressure at constant temperature of gas using the given data. Objective number 2, plot data and solve problems in volume and pressure relationship at constant temperature of gas. Yan po yung ating table. As you can see on the table, sana natin makinig po mabuti muna. Meron tayo ditong 4 na columns. Trial 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We also have volume in liters, pressure in ATM, and then the product of volume and pressure. When we say product, we will multiply the volume and the pressure. So, baguhin ko lang po yung ating pointer. Gawin ko lang laser pointer. Yan. As you can see on trial 1, the volume of a specific gas is 3 liters at ang pressure po niya ay 24 atmosphere. If we multiply 3 and 24, the product is 72. Okay, that's 3 times 24 is 72. Let's check the second trial. The volume increases from 3 naging 6. Sa pressure naman, kung titignan natin, from 24 to 12, nag-decrease. If we are going to multiply 6 times 12, ano kaya ang sagot? 72. So again, yung product ng pressure and volume is constant, 72 pa rin. Tingnan natin. Sa trial 3, volume is 12, tumaas ulit. And then ang pressure naman bumaba na bumaba, 6. If we multiply 12 and 6, the product is still 72. Wow. So parang may pattern, no? So yung product of pressure and volume ay hindi nagbabago. While yung volume natin, nakikita natin, increasing. Tama? At yung pressure natin, decreasing. Let's move to trial 4. 24 liters and 3 atmosphere. Product is 72 pa rin. And last trial, trial 5. The volume is 48 liters and the pressure is 1.5 liters. If we are going to multiply 48 times 1.5, kindly multiply nga po, Science 10 learners, 48 times 1.5. Tignan ko nga po yung mga answers natin or responses natin. Jean Galak, 72. Correct. Sige po. Ina-address naman natin at nire-recognize natin yung mga responses po ng ating mga Science 10 learners, enthusiasts, at kung sino-sino pa po dyan na willing pong matuto ng ating Science 10. Again, Jean Galak, 72 po. Tama. Tama po yung sagot. 48 times 1.5. Charmaine Didase, 72. Ashley Nicolay Sarona, 72. Lizel Ogalesco Fabre, 72. Jane B. Peletones, 72. Ashley Nicole Sarona. Casey Balderas. Marlon De Fiesta Martin. Zakea Ira, 72. Yan. So, 48 times 1.5 is 72. Ayan. Now, from this table, we can have basic observations. Sa volume, kindly type your answer on comment section. What have you noticed on the volume? Is it increasing or decreasing? Sa volume muna tayo, Science 10 learners. What have you noticed or observed on the volume sa ating second column? Is it increasing or decreasing? Here, sa volume natin, 3, 6, 12, 24, 48. LV Buhat de la Cruz increasing, Ashley Nicole Sarona increasing, Daniel Fadera, Angeli Magtubo, Cristela Nifas, Kate Celario, Casey Balderas, ayan. Tama po, lahat po ng volume natin from trials 1 to 5 ay increasing. 3, 6, 12, 24, 48. Second question natin, sa pressure naman or atmosphere, what have you noticed on the values of pressure from trials 1 to 5? Is it increasing or decreasing? Increasing or decreasing? Ayan po. Kent Brian Gasque. Yan. Siguro yun yung sagot niya kanina. Increasing. LV Buat de la Cruz, decreasing. Daniel Fadera, Adrian, decreasing. Correct. Kate Celario, Ashley Nicole Sarona. Very good. Sa pressure natin, in terms of ATM, 24, 12, 6, 3, 1.5. Pababa. Decreasing. Okay, thank you. So kung babasahin natin at sasagutan natin yung guide questions, what do you observe about the volume of given data? Binigay na natin kanina yung sagot. The volume is increasing. What do you observe about the pressure of the given data? Sabi natin kanina, decreasing. Given at constant temperature, what do you observe about the product of volume and pressure in each trial? Pakisagot nga po itong number 3. Given at constant temperature, ito po. What do you observe about the product of volume and pressure in each trial? Napapansin ko sa lugar namin kapag 3 o'clock dumadaan si ate na nagtitinda ng karyoka at ayun, karyoka at palitaw. Masarap, no? Habang nag-aaral na meron tayong merienda. Ayan, ano nangyari po sa product ng volume at pressure kanina? Is it increasing, decreasing, or constant? Increasing, decreasing, or constant? Yung kanina, yung product ng pressure at volume, yung nasa dulong column natin. They are all the same. Kate Celario, correct. They are all the same. Pareho lang po. Parehong 72. So we can say that they are constant in terms of value. Hindi po nagbabago, 72. Tama po. Number 4, at constant temperature, what do you think will happen if the volume, what happened to the volume if the pressure decreases? Ayan, titingnan natin kanina. Anong nangyayari kapag ang volume pataas? Ito, pag ang volume pataas, ang pressure naman pababa. Again, if the volume increases, the pressure decreases. Again pag pataas ang volume, pababa ang pressure. Pagbabalik rin natin, kapag ang volume naman ay pababa, ito rin, ang pressure naman ay pataas. So magkasalungat sila. Volume pababa, pressure pataas. Pag ang volume naman ay pababa, ang pressure naman ay pataas. So they are said to be inversely proportional to each other. State a relationship between volume and pressure at constant temperature. We can say that at constant temperature, the relationship between volume and pressure is said to be inversely proportional. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng inversely proportional? When something is up, another will go down. So kung ang volume ay pataas, si pressure pababa. Kapag ang volume naman ay pababa, si pressure naman ay pataas. Make a volume versus pressure graph at constant temperature using the data given above. Describe the graph. Since kayo ay malakas sa akin, kay Tutor Rainier, gagawa na natin ito ng paraan. Ito yung ating graph. Yung tinatawag nating pressure volume graph. Meron tayo dito on the y-axis, the pressure or the ATM. At meron naman tayo ditong volume on the x-axis in terms of liter or volume. Ipa-plot natin yung points. Yung una ay, eto po, 24.3. Kung nakita nyo kanina, ang pressure 24, ang volume ay 3 or 3.24. Unahin muna natin syempre, yung x-axis, 3.24. Actually, dapat yung 3 nakaturo po dito, dapat exactly dito sa line. Dahil nga siguro doon sa SLM na punta siya sa gitna. Pero to make it more correct, yung 3, 6, yung ito po, multiples of 3, nakaturo po yan sa mismong line. Para hindi tayo malito. Next point is ito naman, 6.12. Mapapansin natin, no, bumababa yung pressure. Pataas ng pataas naman yung volume. 12.9. Ayan, 21.3. And then, yung isa, medyo may mali lang dito sa SLM. Ito po dapat ay 48. 48.1.5. Now, kailangan nating i-connect yung mga dots. Ooh, wow, natuwa. Ayan, may connection ng dots. So, we will connect the dots at mapapansin natin na ganito yung kanyang graph. Watching from Betis National High School, Jenny Flores Nicolas. Ayan. Sanchez Kyle from 10 Felipe, maraming salamat sa panonood. Carlo Miel Visda Perez from Hagonoy East Central School. Maraming salamat sa panonood. Now, ito naman ang experimental data point ng graph ng pressure versus volume. Again, pressure is plotted po dito sa y-axis at ang volume naman natin ay sa x-axis. Mapapansin natin na merong curve graph. This is what we call the PV curve o yung pressure volume graph curve. This curve is called PV curve, and it is hyperbolic in nature. As observed from the graph at the left, the pressure increases with a decrease in volume and vice versa. Again, pag ang pressure po ay bumababa, tumataas naman ang volume. Kapag naman tumataas ang volume, tumataas ang volume rather, bumababa ang volume, pataas ng pataas ang pressure. It means that the pressure is inversely proportional to the volume. Pag si volume po ay umakyat, si pressure bababa. So baliktad lang po sila and vice versa. Again, tandaan natin the relationship between pressure and volume is inversely proportional to each other. So now we will explain now the Boyle's law. So Boyle's law states that the volume of gas is inversely proportional to the pressure at constant temperature. So this is the picture of Robert Boyle's. He is the one that created this law. According to him, that the pressure increases, the volume decreases, and the pressure decreases, the volume increases. So gumawa po siya, since law ito can be represented mathematically. So meron tayong P1, V1 is equal to P2, V2. Most of the time, binabasa natin tong P sub 1, V sub 1 is equal to P sub 2, V sub 2. So itong dalawang to, it means kapag magkadikit, they are connected by multiplication process, same as with the other side of equation, yung P2, V2. So where P1 is the initial pressure, yung first pressure. V1 is the initial volume. P2 is the final pressure and the V2 is the final volume. So ano ba yung magiging natin kapag binasa natin yung problem at paano natin malalaman kung ito ba ay pressure ba siya or volume ba siya? Now, ano muna ang mga steps in problem solving? We have step 1, write the given. Step 2, write the unknown or required. Write the formula to be used. Kailangan din natin yan. Solve the problem with complete solution. And number 5, report your final answer correctly. Somehow with 2 decimal places o kaya na 1 decimal place. Okay. Ano ba yung mga gagamitin nating units para malaman natin na ito ba ay volume? Milliliters, ml. Liters, L. Tandaan natin na liters and milliliters since we are talking about gas volumes kasi. Now, units for temperature, we have Celsius and Fahrenheit. Yan po yung mga symbols nila. Units for pressure, Pascal, PA, atmosphere, ATM, milliliter mercury o millimeter mercury, mmHg. Take note. Bar din. Torr, galing kay Torricelli, torr. Pound per square inch or PSI. Kung naririnig nyo yan, no? Sa PSI sa mga pressure sa ating gulong. Okay. So again, yun po yung mga units natin for volume, temperature, and pressure. Kapag nabilisan po, pwede nyo pong balikan itong video na to para ma-review. So let's have problem solving number 1. A scuba driver needs a diving tank to provide breathing gas while he is underwater. How much pressure is needed for 6 liters of gas at 1.01 atmosphere to be compressed in a 3-liter cylinder? So, para maging convenient, in-highlight ko po ng color-coded po yung 6 liters and 3 liters. It means pareho po sila ng unit na ginamit and then 1.01 at atmosphere. Yan po, si scuba diver. Do you know that yung scuba po, it is an acronym which means self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. Kaya siya scuba. Self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. Yan. Sa pag-problem solving natin, syempre, identify mo natin yung given. Yan po yung mga given. Bibilisan na po natin. Ang unknown natin ay P2. Bakit P2? Kasi yung pressure 2 ang wala. Paano ba natin malaman kung V1, V2? Yung V1, syempre, hanapin natin kung liters ba yung kanyang unit. At usually po, kapag nababanggit sa umpisa, usually ito ay first volume or first pressure. Yung volume 2, yung susunod na, to compress in a 3-liter cylinder. So this is volume 2 or second volume. Yung first pressure natin ay 1.01 atmosphere. At ang unknown natin ay P2. Okay. So ang formula natin, P1, V1 is equal to P2, V2. Yan po. And for our formula, since we are looking for P2 is equal to P1 V1 over V2. And kung okay lang po magkaroon lang tayo ng 5-minute na overtime. Sige po, pasensya na po para lang maitawid natin yung problem solving. Solution, P2 is equal to P1 V1 over V2. Yan po yung ating formula. Substitution, ating P2 is equal to 1.01 ATM, this is pressure 1, and then 6 liter po is our volume 1, and then divided by 3 liters which is our volume 2. So makakancel po natin dito yung liters and liters. 1.01 times 6 is 6.01 atmosphere divided by 3. Wala na po yung L, no? Kasi na-cancel na po natin. So, 6.01 divided by 3 is 2.02 atmosphere. Again, ang answer natin, P2 is equal to 2.02 atmosphere. Yan po. Elizabeth Maglaya, tama po yung sagot. Next, the volume of air in the marshmallow blaster. Alam nyo ba yung marshmallow blaster? Yan, nilalagay po ng marshmallow sa loob. Yung bala niya. The pressure is 1 atmosphere while the volume is 450 ml. What will be the new volume of the new pressure? That is 9 atmosphere. Ayan po. Ibalik natin yung problem. Given natin, V1 450 ml. Bakit kaya V1? Kasi ml. P1, atmosphere, 1 atmosphere, and P2, 9 atmosphere. Unknown natin. So makikita naman natin, no? V1, P1, V1. Ano nawawala? V2. Automatic po yun. And then formula, P1, V1 is equal to P2, V2. So since ang hinahanap natin ay V2, ito po, divide both sides by P2. Ayan. So mangyayari po, V2 is equal to P1, V1 over P2. Ang technique namin mga teachers dyan, no, ang usual magkakasama, P1, V1. At ang magkakasama, P2, V2. So kung nawawala si V2, ang nasa numerator, P1, V1. At ang kanyang kapartner, nasa baba, P2. Again, P1, V1 sa taas, at yung partner ng V2, which is P2, ay nasa denominator ng kabilang side ng equation. Solution, substitution lang po ito. Ayan po, 1 atmosphere times 450 ml divided by 9 atmosphere. Ano makakancel? Atmosphere. And then 1 times 450 divided by 9 is 50 ml. Ayan. Tama po, no? 450 divided by 9 is 50 ml. Elizabeth Bernal Maglaya, tama po ang sagot ninyo. Okay, applications ng Boyle's Law. Ang syringe po or heringilya, ano nangyari dyan? Kapag kumukuha tayo ng it's either blood or water or any liquid, kapag yung hinihila po natin ito, kakaroon po ito ng, ano po nangyari? Yung volume po niya ay dumadami at yung pressure niya umiikli o kumukonti. Kapag gusto na nating i-inject yung liquid, itutulak lang natin po ito, papunta doon. Ang nangyayari, yung volume naman ay umiikli o kumukonti, nag-i-increase. At yung pressure naman yan tumataas. Kaya magandang syringe kapag nagbibigay po tayo ng vaccines kasi yung pressure na ilalagay natin sa mismong katawan ng tao. And then, sa ating lungs naman, yung ating respiration, syempre pag humihinga tayo, no, the air comes in, yung ating oxygen, at ang lumalaki po yung lungs natin. Yung volume ng air lumalaki. At yung ating diaphragm nagko-contracts. Nagkakaroon po ng less pressure. Kapag tayo naman po ay nag-exhale ng carbon dioxide, air out naman yon, lumiliit naman yung ating lungs. So ang volume doon lumiliit. At nagkakaroon ng relaxation ang ating diaphragm, kaya tumataas po ang pressure. Kaya yun po ang applications ng Boyle's Law in terms of syringe and lungs or syringe. Post test. Ayan po. I-run through na lang natin. That's B. Okay, D. Ayan, post test. We have A, 5A. Bakit walang number 3? Kasi yung number 3 question po yun sa Charles Law. Ayan. So again, maraming salamat po sa pagtutok. Kahit okay na po ako nga 5-minute overtime. Thank you very much. For comments and suggestions, email us at edtech@deped.gov.ph. So next na at again siguro meron na po sila ngayon, robotics and coding. Maraming salamat po. See you next week. Paalam.
Sigurado ako na marami ka na namang natutuhan sa ating ETUlay tutorial session ngayong araw. Tandaan, ito ay hindi lamang para sa ating mga mag-aaral, kundi pati rin sa ating mga minamahal na guro at mga magulang na kaagapay natin para maituloy ang pagkatuto sa kabila ng nararanasang pandemya. Patuloy ding sumubaybay sa DepEd TV para sa mga araling ginawang video episodes. Mapapanood ito mula Lunes hanggang Sabado, alas 7 ng umaga hanggang alas 7 ng gabi sa inyong mga telebisyon. Abangan bukas mula 1:00 ng tanghali ang iba pang aralin sa ating ETUlay free online tutorial session sa English. I-like and subscribe at manatiling nakasubaybay sa ating ETUlay tutorial session sa DepEd Edtech Unit FB page at Educational Technology Unit channel sa YouTube at sa DepEd Tayo at DepEd Philippines social media accounts. Paalam!
Salamat po, ma'am. Thank you po.